Niche quality fragrance brand at Ulta? Let's talk about it. Hello my friends, welcome or welcome back to my channel, a place where we talk all things beauty. Today we're talking about a fragrance brand that caught my attention and it's available at Ulta, NOYZ. I wasn't really inspired to check out their fragrances and they weren't even on my radar, but then I got my hands on this discovery set and I must say, smelling some of these fragrances definitely changed my mind. I do feel like some of them are really interesting and quite unique, especially being in one of the biggest retailers, Ulta. This discovery set comes with 4 scents and I also got my hands on this sample of their newest launch, and I also have a travel size of one of their fragrances. So today we're talking about 6 fragrances from this house, and when I'm talking about fragrance brands, I'm always curious about their background story. So NOYZ officially launched in June 2024 and the guy behind this brand is Sean Neff. And he's also a co-founder of Beach House Group, which is basically like a brand incubator that helps launch many brands, like Florence by Mills with Millie Bobby Brown or Moon Oral Care with Kendall Jenner, and also hair care brand Pattern Beauty with Tracy Ellis Ross. And also interesting fact, they are actually backed by Scentbird, and I'm sure you guys heard about that subscription service. So as you can tell, the brand is backed by some serious investors, and here's a fun fact, NOYZ was actually the first fragrance brand that launched in every single Ulta nationwide on day one, which is kind of wild and unheard of, so Ulta must have a lot of faith in this brand. The nose behind these fragrances is actually Jerome Epinette, and if you know anything about him, he's like a legend. He's basically a nose behind all of Byredo's fragrances, Wilhelm Perfumery. I mean, he is the one who created Ariana Grande Cloud, and you can definitely feel that artistry level that he brings to the brand. NOYZ positions itself as gender inclusive, vegan, cruelty-free, made in the USA. Their formulas are also clean. They don't use phthalates, parabens or sulfates. The whole idea behind this brand is to disrupt traditional fragrances. They are all about that raw, real, authentic storytelling through their scents. Their tagline is "Fragrance gets real," and you can definitely feel it in many of their names and concepts of their fragrances, which we will get in a second. And yes, their fragrances are very reasonably priced. 50 milliliter bottle is $85, which I feel like is such a great value for the quality and the artistry and the concept behind the brand. Alright, but now let's get into the scents. So as I've mentioned, I have the discovery set. It comes with 4 fragrances. We have a Nude. This one has an unusual name, Day. Let's call it Poopy Day, Lost and Found, and Love Club. I have a travel size of the 12 o'clock fragrance since I wasn't able to find a sample size. And finally we have the newest launch. This is Detour. So let's talk about the notes. In Detour we have Spanish Mandarin, Apple Blossom, Gardenia Bloom, Jasmine Petals, Skin Musk and Vanilla. This is the image we have behind this fragrance. It's a car that made a stop in front of these bushes that are in full bloom. And this one is for my white floral lovers out there. They market this one as a floral gourmand, but to my nose this is full-on white floral bomb, but in the best way possible. That mandarin in the opening is so zesty and sparkling. There's a touch of pink pepper just to keep things interesting. It's nothing too aggressive. And there's apple blossom and it kind of sets the scene. It just gives this really fresh, dewy vibe. It smells like warm spring air, bare shoulders, sundresses. It honestly smells exactly like this picture, like you made an unexpected stop at this apple orchard at golden hour and you're just chilling and about to see sunset. The heart of this fragrance is like a full-on bouquet of white flowers, really creamy, slightly sexy and a little bit green. And the dry down is that soft, skin-like, slightly sweet musk. When I smell this fragrance, I instantly imagine a beautiful girl. She's wearing a sundress, she's walking through a blooming apple orchard in the middle of the spring and the sun is shining and she's just so happy, very carefree, very useful. There's something really cinematic about this fragrance. That being said, I don't think it's the most avant-garde or groundbreaking floral scent, and I think if you're looking for that twisty, edgy, white floral scent, you will be disappointed. But if you're looking for something really pretty, feminine and mood boosting, this is a really nice option. Yeah, this is a very positive, uplifting fragrance, and I definitely feel like it could be someone's signature scent. Alright, moving on to the number one best-selling scent, Unmute. Even now, when I just smell the strip, it instantly brings smile to my face because it's so good. Let's read the notes. We have Ceylon, Cinnamon, Plum, Pistachio, Clary Sage, Cassia, Incense, Madagascar Vanilla, and Amber. If you are a vanilla lover and you want something deeper, darker, spicier than your average sweet vanilla girly scent, this is your jam. I love this one so much because it makes a statement. First of all, that plum is absolutely incredible. It's juicy, it's jammy, it's slightly boozy, and I love that it stays with you throughout the whole wear time. So if you don't like plum in your fragrance, stay away. There's that spiced warmness from cinnamon, and there's pistachio, which gives a little bit of unexpected twist to the fragrance. And then the incense starts to come out, and that's why the fragrance kind of takes turn into more darker direction. It just makes the whole vibe a little bit sexier and, dare I say, a little bit witchy. And at the base there's vanilla and amber here is almost glowing. It's just so warm and sensual. If you ever smelled Kayali 28 or if you have Replica by the Fireplace, I feel like it's in that same vein of fragrances. Of course, this one doesn't have chestnut as in By the Fireplace. This one has pistachio instead, and of course that sexy plum. But all three have that ambery vanilla base to them, really addictive and stunning. As with all the fragrances, I feel like this one is completely genderless. Anyone can wear it, and I wouldn't mind a man wearing this one. This one is just so mysterious, dark, so addictive, witchy. I even feel like this would be a great Halloween night scent. And so again, is it the most unique vanilla? No, we literally have so many similar options to this one, but the execution is excellent. I wore this to bed, and this is how I really know if fragrance lasts. So I spray it on my wrist before going to bed. I woke up and this fragrance was still very much there. So this one actually has some stain power, and I cannot say that about all of their fragrances, unfortunately. So if you're into warm, spicy, slightly edgy, dark, smoky vanillas, you absolutely have to try Unmute. It's my absolute favorite from their whole line, hands down. Alright, let's move on to my second favorite, and let's just keep it YouTube friendly and name it Poopy Day. So we have eucalyptus leaves, ocean air, coconut water, bergamot, salted fig, clary sage, blue violet, French lavender, cucumber, tonka bean, sea-soaked woods, Baltic amber, and cedar wood. Let's talk about the name for a second. I am not obsessed, but I totally see what are they doing here. They are aiming for a younger audience, so of course they will try to be a little bit edgy, a little bit more relatable, and they're also trying to show that, hey, it's actually okay not to take fragrances too seriously. Now, the fragrance itself, it honestly kind of shocked me in the best way possible. I wasn't expecting this one to smell so uplifting, aromatic, relaxing, and so clean at the same time. The opening is absolutely gorgeous. It's like this breath of fresh ocean air hits you. It's a little salty, it's a little citrusy. And that coconut water note here is absolutely incredible. It just adds this cooling, hydrating feel to this fragrance. It's like this very hot day and you're standing on a cliff right by the ocean and you're drinking coconut water, and there's lots of eucalyptus trees and lavender somewhere growing, so it's a lot of aromatic, relaxing atmosphere in the air. And your hair is blowing in the wind. That's what I imagine when I smell this fragrance. Kind of gets more herbal and aromatic as it sits more and more on your skin. There's clary sage, and that fig here is very green, salty fig. It's not sweet or juicy fig. And I love it because it doesn't turn the scent into a fruity fragrance. And the dry down is very simple. It's woody, it's clean, there's nothing sophisticated here. But it's smooth, it's wearable, and it helps to prolong the wear time of this fragrance. This doesn't really last on my skin. I get maybe 3 hours out of this one. It's not a beast mode, it's more like a airy, ambient kind of scent. This one is really well blended and balanced, truly unisex. If you're into really girly, sweet scents, you might not like this one. You kind of have to appreciate outdoorsy, breezy, salty, aromatic scents to enjoy this one. But I feel like this is incredible, especially for being at Ulta. This smells like a niche perfume, but on a budget. I would say that if you live somewhere where it's really warm, you can wear it throughout the year. It's very easy to wear, it's casual, it's very calming. And now that I wore it, I actually understand the name behind this one. I would definitely wear something like this on a really bad day. Let's say you had a mental breakdown and you need something to uplift and give you this almost like a aromatherapy boost. This is the one. Would I buy a travel size of this one? Honestly, yes. I already own an absolutely obsessed with Pelagos by Dusita, and of course they are not dupes by any stretch of imagination. Pelagos is just so much more complex and sophisticated, but they both live in that salty aromatic world, so I just don't need both. But I feel like for this price especially, the Poopy Day is such a good entry into this category of fragrances. The fig, salt, woods is just so well done here. Highly recommend this one. Each line, of course, must have their zesty spring summer freshie, and this is the one. This is Lost and Found. Let's read the notes. We have Italian lemon, Australian pink pepper, jasmine petals, rhubarb, raspberry blossom, cedarwood, crisp amber, and pink sugar. It opens with lemon, and I must say this lemon is pretty sharp. There's also pink pepper. I feel like you have to love pink pepper to appreciate this one, because this one is kind of front and center here. It does hang around for a while and it kind of makes my nose tickle, which is interesting. In the heart we have jasmine, but it's not idolic or too heavy. It's kind of clean. There's raspberry blossom and it adds a little bit of that sweetness, but don't expect full-on fruitiness. And then there's rhubarb, and wow, this is where the scent kind of starts taking a new direction for me. It gives this vegetal, slightly sour, green spiciness to the fragrance. It makes it really tart. And I've noticed a lot of people mentioning that it smells like celery to them, and I don't think they're wrong. It does smell kinda celery-ish. It has that same watery, crisp zing to it. So if you like your fragrances with a little bit of a green, tart twist to it, I think you will enjoy this one. And the dry down is where things get settle down a little bit. You have this mix of smooth amber and pink sugar. So the fragrance kind of takes turn a little bit because it starts really tart and zesty and sour and then becomes sweet. And I find this fragrance really interesting because I love a good contrast in a fragrance. It's kind of tart versus sweet, citrus versus sugar, green versus floral. It's got personality, that's for sure. Is it my favorite? Unfortunately, this one, for some reason, smells kinda artificial to me. Slightly cheap smelling, to be honest. But again, this one is completely unisex. Very easy and refreshing, especially for spring and summer. Would I get a travel size of this one? Probably not. But I do appreciate their effort to create a non-boring summer freshie. Let's move on to Love Club, and it's their take on a rose fragrance. We have pepper, saffron, mandarin, bergamot, leather, pink rose, raspberry, violet, ebony, patchouli, black amber, and marshmallow. Okay, they were definitely trying to bring in all the drama with the scent. This is not your soft, innocent, cute pink rose. This to me smells like a really nice velvety rose mixed with a cigarette. This to me smells like a girl. It's 2 a.m. She's walking home. She had so much fun partying. She's wearing this leather jacket. She's a little bit heartbroken. Her mascara is a little bit smudged, but still she smells amazing. It has citrusy opening, but that mandarin and bergamot vanish so quickly. It's mostly saffron and pepper, and I love that they're not sharp. They give you that smooth, spicy warmth. And then leather and rose start doing its little dance. They are both very much prominent, but to my nose I get mostly leather. And I sometimes have hard times with leather, but this one is very easy. It's not overly rough or masculine, but it's definitely present, and that rose is slightly powdery. And I do wish we had a little bit more rose here because I feel like it would give such a nice contrast. It's just a very elegant, smoky, and still somehow pretty tender rose. I'll be honest, I don't really get much raspberry or violet here. It's almost as if they are somewhere in the background. If anything, they're just there to soften the edges of that leather and prevent it from being too rough. Also, don't expect strong marshmallow here. It's again somewhere in the background, just adding a little touch of sweetness, but that's it. And in the dry down we have this woody amber base, but I really love this fragrance because it doesn't somehow smell like a bonfire or cigarette ashtray. It somehow still smells really clean. It's almost as if somebody would light one of those, incense things in a really nice cold apartment. If you like really light dewy florals or citrusy body sprays, this might be a little bit too heavy and moody for you. But if you like bold, unisex, slightly gothic florals, this could be something you need to look into, and I'm just in awe at how unique this one, especially for Ulta. No, but for real, can you name a fragrance that smells like Love Club that's available at Ulta right now? I feel like this one is definitely one of the most unique in the whole NOYZ line. Love this vibe it has. It's a little weird, it's smoky and sexy all at once. Now, would I buy it? Personally, no. It's just a little too leather forward for me, and I need more rose center fragrances in my life. But at least it's not forgettable. I do, however, think that you absolutely have to try it before you buy. Do not blind buy this one. And also, surprisingly, the performance on this one is not good. I was sure that leather and rose-centered fragrance would last on me. No. This lasts about 3 hours on me. And I also did the test when I sprayed and then go to bed. I woke up, there was not a hint of this scent on my wrist. So that tells you everything you need to know about the performance. Alright, let's move on to our final fragrance. 12 o'clock we have Pink Pepper, Saffron Jasmine, Raspberry, Blonde Woods, Spun Sugar, Ambroxan and Oak Moss. This one is so fun. It reminds me of that moment in time when you know something magical is about to happen and there's a little sugar in the air and you can almost taste it, and there's a little mystery, just enough spice to keep things interesting. Spun Sugar is mentioned in the dry down, but I get it right away. But it's not tooth aching, it's airy and soft. It's very fluffy, ethereal. It's like cotton candy made for grown-ups. In midsection we have this raspberry and blonde woods moment. It gives this very creamy yet clean fruit vibe. It's not jammy at all. It's more like a light fruity haze floating around you. As it dries down, that Ambroxan and Oak Moss really step in. They're very subtle, but they make such a huge difference. They just turn this fragrance from a cute, sugary bomb into this elevated, modern, more unisex fragrance. There's this airy, sweet muskiness about this fragrance, and I feel like that's the reason why so many people compare it to Baccarat Rouge 540. They are not dupes to me at all. 12 o'clock is much more useful, it's flirty, it's more gourmand, and it's less serious. Even though this is very sweet, it somehow still manages to be unisex. Just love that quality about NOYZ fragrances. And I feel like Pepper and Ambroxan really do an amazing job of balancing this scent out. If this scent didn't have those two notes, I feel like it would be a little too cotton candy-like. I feel like it would be just too much, but instead this is still unisex with a slight edge to it. Would I recommend this one? Yes. If you like really sweet fragrances that has that ethereal, airy quality about them and don't smell predictable, don't smell like a cupcake, then yes, I would say go for it. But again, I would highly recommend smelling these in store, as of course any other fragrances do, just because this one definitely took me for a little ride. I expected this super easy, fun, sweet scent, but 12 o'clock is definitely much more complex than that. So that wraps up all the NOYZ fragrances I have tried, and honestly I'm very impressed. And in general the line feels really intentional. There's a good mix of playful and polished scents, and even though some of them weren't my style, I do feel like they have something unique to offer. You can tell that they are targeted mostly towards younger demographics, but they're not immature. I just love their approach to fragrances, the way that they don't really take it too serious. If you're new to fragrances and you want to experiment and you want to find scents that are fun and expressive yet still very much wearable, I feel like NOYZ is such a great place to start. Everything is genderless, cruelty-free and vegan and Ulta exclusive, which makes them so accessible. And I love that they have discovery kits and travel sizes, so you don't have to commit. Now, my top 3. First, day, Poopy day, you know which one I mean. This is just an amazing everyday calm and freshy. 12 o'clock is that amazing sweet spicy combo that totally surprised me. Of course I'm mute because how can I say no to this gorgeous smoky spicy warm vanilla? Let me know in the comments if you've tried anything from NOYZ or if any of this caught your attention. As always, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss my next video. I love you guys so much and I will see you in my next one. Bye!